I'm Norb Brown. I have a memory of my grandmother. These are the people who lived on Desplaines Street in Blue Island. Lenora Brown. Her mother, Mary Baining, lived with her, and of course my aunts and uncles, my dad, before I was born. My great-grandfather obviously was gone by that time, but I was told that he was a stonemason. He and my grandmother, great-grandmother Mary Baining, came from Hamburg, Germany, and he supposedly helped build the steeple on the Lutheran Church, First Evangelical Lutheran Church in Blue Island. And my dad told us that his grandmother, my great-grandmother, had a sore on her leg which was painful and it never healed, but on Sunday morning she would wrap that with a bandage and she would walk up the hill to the Lutheran Church every Sunday. And of course that steeple is still there. But that's a memory I have of them, and I have a photo of her, but not of my great-grandfather. In fact, we knew that she was buried at the First Lutheran Cemetery in Blue Island. And when I was a kid, my grandmother and my father would buy plants and go and plant flowers at the various relatives' graves. And of course, they would plant flowers at Mary Baining's grave. Well, it's been many, many years later, and I knew, and my sister did too, that she is buried there. So I asked the caretaker there, Mark, if he knew where her grave was. And he looked and looked in all of the records as far back as they could go, and they couldn't find it. My sister called First Lutheran Church to see if they had any records, and it turned out that a secretary there, husband, was into genealogy, and he had photographed all of the graves quite a while ago, and that's how we found her grave. There had been a black glass plaque with her name and date on it that had fallen off, and Mark still had it in the garage. So since then he has replaced it, so we know where she's buried. The stone itself is very old and weathered, but we found it and it's restored now. So I put a wreath down for Christmas every year for Mary Baining.